Bride of Frankenstein, James Whale's 1935 sequel to Frankenstein from 1931, takes on another life when viewed less as a film about monsters than as a film about the shock of being alive at all. The monster played by Boris Karloff and the bride played by Elsa Lanchester are both brought into the world without agency, then forced into meanings and roles that they didn't choose. And that's what gives it its real weight. None of us asked to be born, so what do we do with the life we're given once we're here? Beneath its shadows, laboratories and graves lies something closer to the scandal of existence itself. In this strand of Take 55 called Interval, I look at films that blend genres and styles. Bride of Frankenstein does exactly that, merging horror with black comedy and Gothic melodrama, dark, secretive, and emotionally heightened. The film resumes with the monster still moving through a society that fears him, while Henry Frankenstein, played by Colin Clive, tries to step back from the havoc he's created. That retreat, however, doesn't last. Dr. Pretorius, played by Ernest Thesiger, draws him back toward creation, and from there the film shifts away from simple pursuit and into something stranger, darker, and more intimate. Everyone here is some kind of outsider, but not all in the same way. Bride of Frankenstein keeps bringing these figures into contact with each other, as if exile keeps recognizing exile. When the monster comes across a blind hermit, the film arrives at its gentlest and saddest commentary on the outsider theme.
I have prayed many times for God to send me a friend. It's very lonely here, and it's been a long time since any human being came into this hut. I shall look after you, and you will comfort me.
Here, for once, the monster is offered food, shelter, and company instead of terror. Because the old man can't see him, he doesn't recoil, and that brief absence of judgment changes everything.
Our Father, I thank thee, that in thy great mercy thou hast taken pity on my great loneliness, and now out of the silence of the night hast brought two of thy lonely children together, and sent me a friend to be a light to mine eyes and a comfort in time of trouble. Amen.
The irony, of course, is that the hermit thanks God for sending him a friend, when this friend has in fact been created by man.
Before you came, I was all alone. It is bad to be alone.
Alone. Bad.
And Bride of Frankenstein shows what the monster's life might have been like if he'd entered a society capable of receiving him. And that's what makes the title figure so grim. The bride doesn't emerge from freedom or love, but from violated human remains.
Pretty little thing in her way, wasn't she?
This heart is useless. I must have another. And it must be sound and young.
The human heart is more complex than any other part of the body.
The line is clear foreshadowing, but it also points to the limits of their project. A body can be assembled, but inner life cannot be engineered so neatly. And what they produce is not simply a companion, but a woman pieced together from youth, beauty, and trauma, then summoned into existence to answer someone else's need. The film's cruelty lies in how calmly all this is treated as procedure.
And? Friend?
The bride's recoil is not just horror at the monster, it's refusal, the response to someone forced into meaning at the moment of birth. And in that sense, the film's most famous image is also its most brutal one. Companionship cannot simply be manufactured.
You know, do you not, that it is you, really, who are responsible for all those murders? There are penalties to pay for killing people.
Bride of Frankenstein adds the darker thought that there are penalties for creating them as well. The film doesn't treat life as a gift in any simple sense. It shows existence as burden, need, exposure, and the demand to feel and to go on. And that's why the bride's refusal matters, and why the monster's final act is so sad. Once something living has suffered, wanted, and known itself, it cannot be reduced to anyone else's design.